way more than the lube that came on my Oil Kings. So A Soccer, I am right there with you. What type of long springs do I use? I use only TX springs. I've never had issues with alpaca stock. They are so good. They really are. They really are. I'm telling you guys, alpacas are highly, highly underrated. They used to get the praise they deserve, but not anymore. And honestly, they're not that expensive. I want to say it was what, like 110 for 60 bucks. So that's pretty decent price. Damn, yo, Quinn, man, dude, I miss seeing not your face clearly, but your username in chat. I miss you, bud. How you been? If you're happy with the Switch stock lube, do you just do the springs usually? Yes, yeah. I would say if you're happy with the stock lube, I would say almost every Switch would benefit from lubing the spring. Now, the easiest way to tell, obviously, is if you listen to it. If you hear spring ping or crunch or just like a metallic noise, you almost always need to. But like the new Rama duck switches, this, in my opinion, is, like I said, my opinion, is one of the absolute best switches stock. The lube is great. There's no spring ping. It's a long pole. If you like long pole, this might be up your alley, but there's no spring ping. Like I do think the duck switches, they are ridiculously expensive. I'm not going to argue that. But if you are hell bent on using stock switches, I seriously don't see you being disappointed. How do you guys lube springs? I hand lube them, but I hear bag lubing isn't bad either. Honestly, it depends on my mood. If I'm taking apart every switch at once, then I'll bag lube. But if I'm in a mood where I don't want to just like take them all apart and use like an actual lube deck, then usually I'll just take my brush and I'll dab the top of it, or I will dip it like a donut in some lube. Busy as frick, just came back home after a trip to Singapore. Damn, bro, I am headed to Asia in 2 weeks. Always spring swap cherry. 100% agree. But then you have to buy from DramaWorks? Yo, dude, I wonder, honestly, I'm very curious how many duck switches they sold. I think they sold a shit ton of them. Maybe I'll try duck switches then after I get my previous orders. Yeah, honestly, if I think they're worth checking out for sure. So I have a question for you all. Are alpacas a custom mold, or are they just a recolor? Does anyone know the answer? I want my Rama jars, but they're in my Kate Caps order. Oof, you done goofed on that one. Damn. How has the Overwatch grind been going? Dude, I honestly haven't been able to play very much. I think I've played maybe 30 games as a tank right now. So, I got placed into silver. I went like 7-1 and went to gold, and then I went like 7-2 and I got to plat. And then I just haven't played very much. Marshmallow is using a custom mold, but not sure for alpaca. I always heard their recolor actually have alpacas in this 80 I rebuilt aluminum half plate. So what's kind of interesting is I don't have them on me, but the pins on the alpacas, the newest alpacas, the pins are actually doubled the thickness. So, so they're better to be used in a hot swap board. But I actually liked it. I thought that was a good improvement. So, Thurman Goat says they were moved to a new mold for the V2, but they aren't a custom alpaca only mold. Okay, got it. I think alpacas are my favorite JWK. Although Popus and OB Blacks are they technically JWK? They're technically JWK custom blend, right? They're made by JWK? Yeah, that's what I thought. Double thick pin art, OP Black, Popu thing 2, yes, JWK. Yes, I love that. I absolutely love that. All right. Different housing material though, right? Yes, apparently that top milky housing is like a custom blend, right? Okay, let's go ahead and look back at this picture that Zondat sent over. Hey, that's pretty good. Yo, Quinn, will you play Overwatch with me? What do you think about the new upcoming Gion Works Nixies? I haven't tried any of his switches. I've heard good things, but I can't personally comment on it. Who do you think produces the best kinds of switches? Honestly, like, it's definitely a loaded question because I have my favorites from each manufacturer. It depends on the board I'm building, depends on the plate I'm using, a lot of factors. I'm 13 wins away from being able to do ranked. Once I get my rank, sure, okay, bud. Don't play with Lulz unless he streams it here. Dude, I'm telling you guys, you don't want to watch me play Overwatch. Like, you don't, trust me. Or maybe you do, maybe you do. Maybe I just don't want you to watch me. Yeah, if you have a spare trash USB, I think a small bit of wire is nicer for bridge. Ooh.